Hey guys, back again with another review, and this time it's of Schizoid, an action horror mystery from 1980. And it was directed by David Paulsen and it was written by David Paulsen too. And it stars Klaus Kinski, Donna Wilkes, Mariana Hill, Craig Wasson, Richard Hurd, Joe Regal-Booton and Christopher Lloyd. Julie has recently divorced her husband Doug, and she works as a lonely heart columnist in a paper. And Doug also works there as well. So her ex-husband. So at the beginning we see that she's in a jacuzzi with her friends, and they're talking about how she's broken up with her husband, and she says that he's a bit possessive. As they're talking, there's somebody watching them, very Galileo-like through the thing. And as they leave, he chases one of them and he knocks one off their bike. She runs around screaming, "Ah! Ah!" And all that, and you're like, be quiet, he's coming, be quiet and you might be able to get him. But no. So the good thing about that first kill is we don't actually get to see her get killed, and that's debatable whether that's good or not, but I actually like the way it was done. I thought it was very stylishly done, and I thought it worked really well and was very promising. So we find out that Klaus Kinski, who plays Peter Fells, runs a group where he talks to them about how they're feeling, kind of like a counselling group. And Julie and Gilbert, Julie is played by Mariana Hill and Gilbert is played by Christopher Lloyd, both go to that group as well as many others. Now, when we meet Gilbert, we find out he's a handyman, but it's very creepy. He walks around, he watches Julie, and he does some really weird stuff. But this is to make you go, is he the killer? Now, Peter Fells is the therapist, and what does he do? Being played by good old Klaus Kinski, he gets in every one of his women's knickers. That's right, he gets in all the women's knickers from the group. Now, he's a bit of a playboy, but he's got this really weird relationship with his daughter Alison Fells, played by Donna Wilkes. And he kind of looks at her getting undressed and stuff. And it's just very, very weird, especially when you know the stories of how he was with his own kids. It's a little bit strange. So it was pretty good in that sense that it made you feel a real dark sense around him. Now, Julie's divorced husband, Doug, seems like a nice bloke. He wants to wallpaper the walls and all sorts of stuff. And he's a little bit creepy. But what I like about the whole movie, per se, is I like how you had all these people that could be the killer. Now, at the same time, you've got the killer and then you've got the person who's doing the poison pen letters. Are they one in the same? Are they two separate people? Now, by the end of the film, you find out. And it's not the biggest plot twist. You sit there and you go, yeah, I could have seen this kind of a mile away. The jealousy between Peter's daughter, Alison, with Julie. The way Doug is really watching her with other men, watching Julie with other men. You can see that there's all these red herrings. You can see where people think, oh, is it him? Is it her? Is it this person? Now, when it gets to the climax, it's actually quite clever because all the people you think could be all end up in the building. So you go, oh, so at the last minute, you don't know who it is to the last minute. Now, if you're somebody who watches a lot of these kind of movies, you might figure out who it is in the first half an hour to 45 minutes because it's kind of obvious to a degree. If you don't figure out, then good for you because it lets you think more about who it could be and you enjoy it more. There's some really good scenes like when Doug is trying to spy on Peter and Julie having sex and this guy sees him and chases him down the road with a stick. That's a great scene. And overall, the movie's not that bad. As a slasher, it doesn't really work that well. But as a mystery kind of semi-Galileo kind of film, it's okay. The problem is if you've watched a lot of Galileo films, and you know what I'm talking about, Tenebrae, Deep Red, All the Colours of the Dark, Case of the Scorpion's Tail, you know what I'm talking about. This movie won't interest you as much as they do. Because even though it's in the same vein as a Galileo, it doesn't work the same. The character's all in black, but the problem is it just doesn't work the way Galileo would. But overall, like I said, it's not a bad film. I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5, and I'd say it wasn't a bad film by far. It could have been a lot better and it could have been a lot worse. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and have a lovely day. And please subscribe.